I'm on the ropes out here with my dog Jalil. Hackett, man, what brings you out to Union Station today?
Today they're actually celebrating, even though it was Monday, they're celebrating National Women's Day, and also they're fighting for immigration reform because recently a lot of people have been getting sent back to their native countries, and their kids are being left here alone, and it's crazy.
You know, it's crazy, man. You know, out here today, we're looking at it. You got the sun. The sign out here today, we are essential. What is that all about?
It's about the workers, immigrant or not, they're all essential, and they got to be paid and they got to be respected. A lot of these workers, they've been working even when the pandemic happened. They were still working, and we just want to see them get their just due, give them at least 15.
Why is that important, man, to have equal rights? And which brings you out today, to help support that cause for equal rights?
Because me personally, I feel everyone is equal, no matter how rich, how poor, your race, your age, everyone's equal. And it just means a lot to me, knowing that even though I'm African American, I have white brothers, I have Puerto Rican sisters, I have family of all demographic and races, so I wouldn't want my sisters to be treated some type of way, or for example, one of my sister's grandparents or uncles to be sent back to their native country, because that would hurt my feelings and their feelings. So we just want to see everybody be treated equally.
Man, that's great to see you out here, man, to be so young and to be so active and involved in socialism and activism.
Yeah, no, it's important. It's important to me, and I feel like it should be important to everyone to at least, treat others how you want to be treated.
And today, Jalil is holding the A and R. There you have it, on the ropes. Jalil Major Hackett out here today at Union Station, man, for rights, immigration, and reform. Look like they're spreading out. Man, I appreciate your time as always, man.
Always.
On the ropes, we out. All right, I'm out here with Hackett, man. What's good?
Man, hey, we out here doing some good work, man. Today we're here at my job, SEIU 32BJ. Shout out to the union. We're doing a two-part event. This is immigration reform. Families should be able to stay together. We're all immigrants. And we're also doing a Women's Day event. I think it's very big to do these type of events and to be involved, because everybody's the same. Nobody's different from anybody else. And as long as we can remember that and pay homage to the women who actually help pave the way just as much as men have, I think that does a great thing. And I'm glad I get my son to come out and do stuff like this. He had a strength and conditioning day, and I told him what I had to do today. I wouldn't be able to be with him, and he said, "Hey, Dad, I want to go with you." He was telling me that he's looking at his social medias and see the newfound followers and I guess fame. He wants to make sure that he gets everything involved, and he's been coming to these actions with me for all his life. I've been with the union for 20 years, so I'm glad to see that he has not forgotten that activism, social justice, and union equality is one of the things that helped him have the life that he's been able to live.
Yeah, it's great to see somebody so young to be so actively involved in socialism, activism, and women's rights.
I think it's big. I told you previous times before, I didn't really care how I raised the boxer if it meant diminishing the man. And I think I've been able to find the right balance to where he's actually a very good boxer, but he's growing into being a very good and responsible man.
And that's a great thing to see, because a lot of athletes are scared to speak their mind when it comes to social issues, injustices out there in the world, and to have somebody with Jalil's age of only being 17, not even 18 yet, to have to consciously thinking about that, you know, if there's injustice in the world, I'm going to speak about it. I'm going to stand up for the rights of women, immigrants, kids not being snatched away from their parents and sit back and locked up in detention cages.
And it's very important to us too, because I do have 2 daughters that are of Hispanic descent. They're Puerto Rican, and their family is very important to them. And I never want to leave anybody out, and that's why I've always told my son, you come from a large melting pot of family, not just African Americans, but we have Guyanese in our family, we have Latinos in our family, we have white people in our family. So, you know, I want to make sure that he understands that when you say I represent my family, you represent every facet of your family.
You know, what was it like for his family down in Puerto Rico to get a chance to see the Mayweather Promotions announcement created in Spanish for his fan base, man? How proud of the family on the island?
It was big, man. It was big. I talked to his sister's grandmother, Carmen Lopez, and she said that she had got to show it to Poppy, and he's 91 years old, and he was like elated. You know, I think whenever your family who's been supporting you before the world knew you can see something about you in a language that they speak, is you know, you can't put words on it. Can't put words on it. So I thank Mayweather Promotions for putting that in Spanish as well as English, and that was part of what I think a driving force made my son choose him. They didn't just want to deal with him, the boxer. They wanted to deal with him, the man.
That's a great thing to see, man. I'm just so proud of everything that Jalil is accomplishing and continue to grow and grow more and more each day.
I'm very proud of him too, and I hope that we can see more of him as we go along. You know, he's no different than anybody else. He like music, he like cars, he do all that stuff. But I also want to keep him mindful of, remember where you come from. Don't forget your roots. Don't forget what you've done. He grew up fighting with his sisters. He look at them as my Spanish sisters. They my sisters and we fight. But then as he got older and realized what's going on in the world, he realized I need to put my name with stuff that are about issues that I'm concerned with. So that's big for us.
Man, I truly appreciate your time as always, Bernard.
Man, no problem, bro. No problem.
On the ropes, we out.
When you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Can you introduce yourself to the people out there?
Sure, I'm Jaime Contreras. I'm a vice president for SCIU 32BJ, and I'm here with Jalil, who I think I've seen you grow up from day one, man. And since when did you get taller than me?
Recently.
But yeah, no, this event today, today marks the 50th date of Biden being in office, and it's also International Women's Day, or International Women's Month, and we're also reminding the Biden administration that immigrant women, no matter from which walks of life they come from, people of color, are essential workers, and that you know, we need to do more for these types of workers.
Why is it important to keep this in the mindset of Americans out there about immigration, about not separating kids from families, about recognizing women and their importance also as well?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's, you know, the United States is a country that was formed by immigrants. Everybody who's in this country came from somewhere else, unless you're a Native American. And these are workers who, you know, go to work every day to put, you know, to keep us safe. They secure these buildings. They keep these places sanitized. They work in our grocery stores. They are the ones working, you know, cutting the vegetables in the fields. And these are essential workers, and they should be treated with dignity and respect. A lot of these folks don't have, you know, they're not documented workers, but they are essential workers. So we deem them essential so that they can continue to carry the economy in this country on their backs. But when it comes to doing the right thing for them, which is passing immigration reform once and for all to get them out of the shadows and into the mainstream, somehow Congress and Republicans and conservatives, for the most part, don't think that they're that essential. So that's what we're here today to remind them. A, we're human beings. We should be treated as such. 2, we're workers and we're essential workers. And 3, Biden and this Democratic control Congress needs to once and for all pass immigration reform for these workers.
With events like this, what do you hope to accomplish in the mindsets of Americans out there?
Well, I mean, I think, if you look at any polling, Americans in general think immigrants are, the vast majority of Americans think that immigration reform is long overdue, that the current immigration system is outdated, that we need to once and for all do right for these workers. People support, people regularizing their status, and they know that the contributions that immigrants make to the economy as a whole, whether it's socially, economically, culturally, or, you can't put a value on those. And so the American people is not the problem. It's the elected officials in Congress who have been stalling, using immigration as a political fireball to divide the country. And we think that's wrong.
I got to ask you, man, how important is to see young people like Jalil out here supporting causes and things of that nature out here
Well, look,
today?
I mean, I think you should ask Jamil why this is important for him.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say to you, I mean, the reality is the future of this country is going to look more like Jalil and I. The black and brown people need to come together and speak with one voice and elect people in our office, in elected office, to do right by people of color in general, by those of us who have to show up to work every day, are black and brown people who risk our lives. I mean, we're dying at a rate that's 3 times higher than white folks. This virus, has affected our communities in a way that it hasn't affected the white community, and we think that's the reason why black and brown folks are joining forces to make sure that we do right, on the immigration issue, but also as a whole. People of color are getting screwed, and this is why we need to work together. But I think Jalil can probably tell you what, because Jalil has been doing this since he was a baby. He's been
Since a baby?
No, seriously. I mean, he's been like, helping us make signs in the office, making calls and all this stuff. So I think he can answer that for himself. But for me in general, I just think black and brown people and working people, no matter whether you're white, black, whatever, we need to come together and elect people into office that are going to do right by our communities.
I truly appreciate your time.
Sure, man. Anything for this kid, man.
All right.
I think him, my son, and my kids have basically grown together. You and Mateos and it's a family, man. This union is basically a family that has, a lot of us have been around each other for a long time, and man, anything I can do to, put Jalil out there, shit. You deserve it. You work hard for that, bro.
I truly appreciate your time, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Right,
All right. Man, I gotta ask you, Jalil, man, how it feel, man? You've been doing this since you were young, man.
It feels good, every time I come out here since I've been younger. When I was younger, it was more so, I'm gonna do it because it's something to do.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older, it had more of a meaning to me. It felt like I was doing something for the greater good. Felt like I was helping someone. Even if it was one person or 100 people, I feel like I made the world a better place just a little bit.
Hey, man, you're doing a great job, man. Continue to do what you're doing, man.
Always.
All right, on the ropes, Jalil Major Hackett, out here at Union Station. We out.
We